Hi, welcome. All right, we are going to get started. So today's session is being recorded, so it's beginning right now. So welcome to everyone watching the recording and everyone joining us live today. And good afternoon, Hackergals. Welcome to the Advanced Coding webinar and our final Meet a Woman in STEAM interview. We are so excited to have you all here with us today, and we hope that you've been having so much fun at Hackergal Day 2023. On our agenda today, we have our ambassador, Aska, who will be interviewing our woman in STEAM, Maria, followed by a coding session presented by myself. To kick things off, it is my pleasure to welcome one of our Hackergal ambassadors to the virtual stage. Aska, I'm going to let you take it away now.
Hello and welcome to Hackergal's Women in STEAM interview. Today we will meet Maria Arkelatyan. Maria is a server development manager, and outside of work, Maria enjoys playing basketball. Enjoy learning from her professional journey in tech and STEAM as she answers our interview questions. Keep your ears open for the secret word at the end to include in your post-event survey. A reminder of our theme for Hackergal Day, Cyber Heroes Securing Our Future. Now let's welcome Maria. Hi, Maria. Can you tell us what industry you work in?
Hello. I work in online gaming industry. The company is called Flutter Entertainment.
And what motivated you to go into STEAM?
I always liked math and physics and everything technical, so it was a pretty simple choice for me. But what really pushed me towards computer science was my desire to develop my own computer game. Though it really never happened, but as you can see, I got into online gaming area, which is very interesting and exciting.
That's really interesting. And did you have any role models that you looked up to when you were younger?
Not really a role model, but my friend's dad was a software developer when we were in school, and he always had the coolest, latest computers, and we were sometimes allowed to play cool games there. So my dream was to be like him, have the coolest computers. So probably that was my role model.
And what is your educational background?
I studied I have master's degree in applied math and computer science. Yeah, and I have always worked as a software developer and now a manager.
And were you interested in STEAM when you were younger, or was it something that you grew into?
I was interested, though back then I didn't know the word STEAM. It was just everything technical. Yes, I was interested. I enjoyed doing it, and I think the only part of growing into it would be putting in a lot of hard work. It's aside from liking it and having abilities to do it, you have to be ready to put in efforts to always learn, always get better. Those are the main components of getting into this field and being really good at it.
Absolutely. And what skills or qualities do you believe are essential for success in STEAM? And how have you cultivated them in your own career?
I would say that success in STEAM contains of three main components. First is your technical abilities. Second, I would say, is how much you enjoy doing it. And the third would be the hard work I mentioned. You are like hard work you will be ready to put into it. I also have noticed that many people think that being in STEAM is about working alone, and that may push people away, but that it's not. Like, you get to work with people a lot, so don't neglect the people skills. You will need to use it when you work in this field.
Absolutely. And what do you think that our cyber heroes can do today to protect themselves and others online?
I will keep this one really simple. Knowledge is power, so educate people and they will protect themselves. So I think that's what we should all concentrate on educating more people about the safety online.
For sure. And why do you think that we need more girls in tech and STEAM?
Well, girls have superpowers, but to be more serious about it, I think girls are much more responsible, reliable, much more calm than men. And that's just how our brains are built. And girls are as smart and sometimes maybe even smarter as guys. So this allows girls to perform better, collaborate better with their peers, and build more strong and productive teams. So I always notice very positive changes when there are more girls in the teams.
For sure. And it's always really empowering to have professionals like you as well to encourage and mentor the young girls that are going to be the STEAM professionals of tomorrow. And can you share a pivotal moment or project in your STEAM career that has influenced your professional path?
It's not like a project, but I will tell you the story, which I think really influenced me. So back in high school, I was taking some programming classes in school, and it was fun. I liked it, but I was also practicing basketball very actively back then, and my basketball practices were coinciding with my programming classes, and I was choosing basketball. And then after a while of skipping the programming and going to basketball, I ran into my programming teacher, and what she told me basically set me on this path. She said, "You are not going to become an athlete," and I am short, so I wasn't going to be a real basketball player. And she said, "But you may become a good programmer because you are really good at it." So that got into my head, and I changed my priorities. And she was right. I became a programmer, and I just play basketball for fun.
That's really inspiring. And why do you think that this was so significant?
I think it just made a click in my head that this can be my profession. Before that, it was a while ago, so software development wasn't that big. And I didn't really take it seriously. I didn't think that those small problems I solve, I write programs for, they can actually be my job. They were just fun things I did. I thought job has to be boring and job has to be not so interesting. So at that point it clicked that, oh, really? I can do this fun thing for work. Maybe I should try.
Yep, I'm sure a lot of our viewers can relate as well. And as technology continues to advance, what trends or developments in STEAM are you most excited about?
To be honest, I think the biggest thing that changed in the recent years is the move to the cloud. So more and more companies and services are moving to the cloud, and it really changes the way we work, not being attached to the hardware, to data centers. That changes a lot for us. And I think that is very significant, and I'm excited to see where we will be in 10 years with all this.
For sure. And what role do you believe that educators play in motivating girls to pursue careers in STEAM, and what can they do to inspire the next generation of women in science?
I believe educators play a major role in motivating girls, and I'd say it would be like leading by example, always showing how excited you are about your work, about STEAM. That's the best motivator, I think, is to watch that your teacher really loves what she or he does. And I also want to add that you can have it all. You can have a very good career, you can love your job, enjoy it, look forward to it every day. At the same time, you can have your dream family. You don't have to put anything aside. Everything is possible. Just my example, I'm currently on maternity leave. My third baby is 7 weeks old. So everything is doable. Just Go for it, do what you like, enjoy it.
Absolutely. And just before our final question, I want to remind all our learners watching across the country about our secret word competition. Remember to include the 4 words that you've heard over the last 2 days in your answers for the post-event survey. You can go in the draw to win a Polaroid camera bundle. Maria, can you please share the secret word with everyone for this webinar?
Of course, the secret word is encryption.
In French, le mot secret est chiffrement. And now for our final question, thank you for sharing your valuable insights. And before we conclude, what advice would you give to young people interested in pursuing a career in STEAM or to your younger self?
I think I would advise not to be afraid, not to doubt your abilities. Yes, you can. Don't look at others and think that, oh, they are smarter. No, like, take it on you. You can do it. Don't be afraid to try. Fail is okay. Fail is a part of going forward. If you don't try, you will not know, like, will you fail or will you succeed? But I assure you, the more you try, the more success you will reach. So don't be afraid. Just go for what you want.
Very true and very wise words of advice. Thank you again, Maria. I hope all our learners are ready for the next step in their coding journeys. Let me introduce you to Kylie, who is leading our advanced coding webinar starting right now.
Thank you and bye.
Thank you so much, Maria and Aska. That was a really inspirational interview. I know that I pulled so much from that, and it is a lot about learning and growing. So right now we're going to start learning some coding. And my own coding journey, it began way back when I was a teacher, and I had to teach a grade 9 and 10 tech course, which I was not prepared for with my English degree background. But I think that shows that if you pursue and you're passionate about something, you can achieve pretty much anything. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. So today I'm going to be introducing to you the introduction to coding a dodging game. My name is Kylie. I am the Ambassador Program Manager at Hackergal. I'm so excited to be coding with you today. I'm going to introduce you to 2 videos before we get started. One's going to explain to you how to submit your coding project so that you know how to do this in order to submit to win one of our prizes. And the other is going to show you how to create a project on Lynx using an account.
Hi, Hackergals, and welcome to How to Submit Your Coding Project for Hackergal Day 2023. Let's get started. For step 1, you're going to rename your project as follows: Hackergal Day 2023 -first name -last name initial -the name of the webinar you attended. The name of the event you attended should be one of the following: the beginner webinar, webinar codage, advanced webinar. For example, Hackergal Day 2023 -Christelle -B -webinar -codage. For step 2, you're going to go to your project and download it by selecting the yellow download button on the right of the screen, as indicated in the picture. For step 3, you're going to join the Hackergal Day 2023 Lynx Coding Club by copying the following link to your URL. If you need to pause the screen at this moment to write down the link and add it to your URL, please do so now. For step 4, you're going to check if you are in the right Lynx Coding Club by selecting your name on the top right corner of the Lynx homepage and look at the drop-down menu. You will see the club name, Hackergal Day 2023, at the top. Choose the file you have already downloaded by selecting the yellow Select File button. Add your project title and preview image logo. For step 7, under the public folder section, select the appropriate webinar folder name to submit your project for your chance to win a prize. For step 8, remember to uncheck the private checkbox before saving your project so the Hackergal team can see your amazing project. Select the yellow Save button at the bottom of the page. Step 9, your project will automatically open in edit mode. So just exit out of your project by clicking on the second button on the bottom left under the Gear Settings button, indicated here. For our last and final step, number 10, check if your project is in the correct folder by selecting All Projects in the top left. Then click on the folder name you chose in step 7, and your project should be there. Congratulations! Your project has now been uploaded to the Hackergal Day Coding Club. Please note that all projects will be reviewed by the Hackergal team, and winners will be announced in January 2024. Thanks for listening, and good luck and happy coding, Hackergals!
Hello learners! Today I will show you how to create your own permanent account on the Lynx coding platform. You will only need to do these steps once, so please follow these instructions carefully. When you first arrive on the Lynx website at lynxcoding.club, you will see Log In Register in the top right corner. In order to sign in, you can use one of the third-party accounts that Lynx has to offer. In this tutorial, I will be signing in with Google, but if you aren't sure which third-party account to use, please ask your facilitator, parent, or guardian. After you create an account and sign in, you should be able to see your name at the top right corner of the website. If you see your name, this means you successfully signed in. Now, we will convert your account from a trial subscription to an individual subscription. To do this, click on your name, then under the drop-down menu, select Profile. When you see this Profile Edit page, look on the left side. You will see that the subscription type is Trial. Click on the yellow Change button. This will bring you to the subscription page. Under the Individual section, change your subscription type by clicking Select. Individual accounts for facilitators and learners living in Canada are free thanks to a subsidy given to us by the Government of Canada. The price indicated in the table above does not apply to you. You will then be asked to provide limited information to certify you are indeed living in Canada. Depending on how you are signing up for your account, you can use your organization's postal code, your school's postal code, or your at-home learning postal code. The following sections ask for your gender and how you are joining this project. Please select Hackergal. Don't forget to click the small box to certify that you are a Canadian resident. Finally, select Create a Free Account for Canadians. An announcement box will pop up saying that you have successfully created your account. You are now subscribed permanently. Press OK. Now you can see that your subscription type is Individual. Click the Lynx logo to return to the home page. After you change your subscription type, the next step is to join a custom organization page. This process will be different depending if you are signing in with a school or organization, or if you are joining Hackergal as an at-home learner. Learners that signed up with a school or organization will receive an invitation link from their facilitator. At-home learners will receive the invitation link from an announcement on the Hackergal Hub. This invitation link is unique to each organization and allows learners to join a collaborative club page on Lynx. Once you receive the link, you need to copy and paste it into your browser, like this. Then click Enter on your keyboard. Now you will see your custom URL page. Good work! Your club name is also included in the drop-down menu underneath your name. Whenever you log into your Lynx account, make sure you're coding on your club page. You can always click your club name in the drop-down menu so you can easily create and save your projects within your club. Now that you have your own individual Lynx account, you can save all your coding projects and share them in your collaborative club page. One last tip. Remember to bookmark this page so it's easy to find in the future. That's all for now. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.
So that is a lot of information, but we have placed the links to those 2 videos on our YouTube channel in the chat. And you can also find them, of course, on our YouTube channel, as I just said, if you need to watch any of those steps one more time. For today, we're going to be looking at 2 of our program tools in order to teach you some advanced coding skills. One of them is the Hackergal Hub, the learning portal we have on our website, and the Lynx coding platform. So the first thing we're going to look at is the Hackergal Hub. If you aren't familiar with Hackergal, or you're maybe wondering what the tool is, Hackergal Hub is a free online learning platform that equips girls with the tools to lead their own coding journeys. It's a facilitator and learner dashboard, both for teachers and students. It includes both interactive and self-paced lessons for learners to progress their coding skills, and is consistently updated by our curriculum program manager, Michelle. It includes coding tutorials, videos with ambassador role models, announcements, and exciting events like Hackergal Day 2023. And it also has hackathon planning tools, so checklists, agendas, presentations, surveys, stickers, and more. I'm going to show you later on where the Light Bites section is, which is what we're going to be learning today. Lynx coding itself is a text-based coding that is funded for unlimited use in Canada by the federal government. It originates from the same programming language used in Scratch. If you've ever used Scratch before, Lynx is sort of its sister organization platform. It's designed by Canadians, and it is published coding languages for K-12 students. It supports English, French, Anishinaabe, and Mi'kmaq languages, and offers built-in programmable events, ready-to-use interactive objects, and Canadian-specific themed clip art. So snowy landscapes, different animals you may see in Canada, that type of thing. So for today's session, as I mentioned, we're going to be looking at a Light Bite. Light Bites are quick grab-and-go projects that focus on coding and technical skills. So there's on our Explore page of our Hackergal Hub, and they're one-off lessons that you can do together. I will quickly show you on our Hackergal website what this looks like. So when you're on the Hub, if you go to the Explore page, you'll see that there is a little button here for Light Bites. If you click that, you'll see that there's a lot of different ones that you can try. We encourage you to try them all, as they're all very unique. The one that we're looking at today is going to be creating a dodging game on Lynx. This is an example of a game that you can create all the way through. Of course, we're just going to be learning the basics today, but this dodging game was created by one of our ambassadors last year named Isla, and I'm just going to walk you through what you can end up making with this template. So her dodging game, of course, includes different backgrounds. It includes different levels and pages. But by starting the start button, you'll see the asteroids start falling. You can move your character, and you can say, and you can make sure that your lives are not being spent. As you go through it, there's different levels. And her game was based around de-stress and conflict in relationships. So you can end up making even more levels for your game. So it's really fun. You can add music, you can add everything to it. So we're going to get now to the basics of the game. So let's get coding. So I'm going to show you first how to start your project. So for today, we're going to do the very first thing, which is name your project. So I'm going to name it Coding a Dodging Game. This is very important because you want to make sure that your project is always named so you don't lose it. And the second very important button is this one right here, the cloud with the arrow pointing up. If you do not save your project as you go along, you're going to lose it because it does not auto-save. So for the beginning here, I'm just going to set up some of the basics of the game for us here. So the first thing we're going to need is a text box. So I'm going to click the plus button, click the text, and now it's appeared here. I can move my text box, so I'm going to move it to the upper hand corner. I want to make it a bit bigger because this is going to be my instructions. So 2 things I can do is now I can type in the box, but I can also change the font. So I'm just going to change it to maybe Times New Roman and a little bit bigger. So I'm going to type in here, how to code a dodging game. as my title, and then I can say a couple of this things that you want to use during the game. So use buttons to move character left and right. This is great because now I have an instruction box that I can have here. Now, if I don't want it to say text at the bottom, what I'm going to do is just right click on the text box, and I'm going to get rid of showing name. That way, that little text is gone. If I want it to say instructions, I can right click it. I can click show name again. Instead of text 1, I can write instructions. Now my box says instructions, which is perfect because that is what I want my audience to know when they're playing my game. Now, other things that we need to set up for our game include buttons. As we learned yesterday, if you were at the beginner coding webinar, our lovely ambassador Anadita taught us some of the buttons that we can use. Again, we're going to go to the plus sign over here. We're going to scroll down and we're going to click button. We're going to need 4 buttons for this game. So right now I'm just going to add them in. And 1 more. Now, these buttons are going to help be able to play our game. One button we're going to need, of course, is the stop button. So instead of it saying nothing, I want it to say start. And instead of it saying nothing, I want it to say stop. So this will be our stop and start button for the game. Of course, right now when I click them, nothing happens because there's no procedure that is attached to these. We'll do that in the next section. The other 2 buttons we're going to need for this game is a left and right button. So I'm going to add in left, and I'm going to add in right. Perfect. Now I have my start, stop, left, right, and I have my instructions. Now I have a turtle here, but I'm going to actually need 2 other turtles as well. But I'm not going to add them in right now. I'm going to start with my little turtle guy here. For him, I want to set shape. Oops. Sorry, just 1 second. I didn't want to change the page. I want to do set shape. And I want to pick a clip art that matches my game. So in this case, I might want to make it into an alien if it's here. If it's not here, then we'll just pick any for this one. There, perfect. My alien's right there. So set shape to 65 and then enter. Now, this alien's pretty big, so I'm going to want to set size like yesterday and make him a bit smaller. 20 still seems a little big, so I can go back and change it to 10. Perfect. Now he's just the right size. So this is the very basics of how to set up your game. As you're following along here, this is how to set up the instructions, the start, stop, left, right buttons, and your alien, which is one of your characters. Now, I am going to share with you a template now that has all of these already made for you, just for time's sake today, but you can also start from scratch and program all your buttons in a way that works for you. So we're going to go to the alien dodging one that's already set up for us. So our buttons are here, left, right, and the instructions are here. Some of the things that we're missing, though, of course, are our turtles, which are very important. So what we want to do is we want to add a turtle. So we're going to add a turtle to the screen here. And we want to change him into the robot clip art. So when I go to the clip art here, and I go to all of my clip art that's been in, I've already put here my alien, my robot, and my rocket ship. So I know that they're already here and I know what number they correspond to. So my little turtle friend here, I want to set him up with set shape to 21 and hit enter. Again, he's ginormous. So we want to make sure that his size is a bit smaller. So we're going to make him 10. Perfect. We're just going to leave him down at the bottom for now. Now we're going to want to add in another turtle. This one is going to be our alien. So we're going to set shape again to 20. Again, alien's huge. We're going to set him to 10. Perfect. And we're going to put him up here. Lastly, we want to add in our rocket ship. So one more time, set shape to the rocket, which is 22. Set size to 10. Perfect. Again, I'm going to save as I go. So I'm going to save my project. Now, One thing I forgot to do, if you noticed, is I did not name any of my turtles, which is going to be a problem when I start making my procedures. So I want to first go in, right click, and rename my turtles. So I'm going to rename them to what they look like. Perfect. Now they're all named correctly. Now what we want to do is we want to start game. So we're going to go back over to our code, our procedures over here. Now that we have our buttons and we have our icons, we want to make sure that we're starting to add procedures so that our characters can actually move. So one of the things we want to do is write the procedure to start game. And a new line with robot, set position, and the brackets. Now, I don't have anything in my brackets right now, which is not good because I can't start my game with my robot if I don't know his position. So what I need to do is actually click show position here, robot. And now it's saying it doesn't know how. That's actually because I need a space in order to do this. And now it'll tell me. So the grid up here, your output screen is actually a giant grid. You can't see the lines, but just like in math class, it's like a graph or a grid. So it has X and Y coordinates running along it. So the X, of course, is this way. The Y is this way. So it's actually telling me right now for my robot turtle, this is where he is. This is where he's starting. So now I can take these two coordinates and I can put them, oops, let's undo, redo. Hold on 1 second. Let's set those coordinates here. Let's make sure we click again, we take them, and we can put them into the box. Now we know where the coordinates are. Perfect. So that's our other one. The other thing we want to do is make sure that we know how to stop the game. So in order to stop the game, we want to stop game, stop all, end. So now now it says it doesn't know how to set position on the stop game. So I did the same thing before that I did on the other one, is I didn't spell it right. If you don't spell one thing right in your code, it won't work. But now it should be able to start and stop. And our robot actually moves now, which is great. But the other thing I didn't do is I didn't attach my code to anything. So if you write code in here, that's fantastic. We made our procedures, but we didn't attach it to any of our icons. So I actually need to attach start game and apply, and attach stop game and apply. Now it's started. And you saw if I move my robot, if I click start, he'll go back to the starting position. And if I click stop, it'll stop everything else from happening. Perfect. So now we have start game, stop game, and we have our two buttons for our move left and move right for our robot. Now, that doesn't help me with starting the game. What we really want is for our alien to get started. That's going to be the thing that our robot is going to be dodging. So our new turtle up here, our alien that we meet, we need to add a bit of a procedure to him. So we need to start game, again, alien, set X, random 400. This means, and always end with end. This means that when we start the game, our robot, again, I didn't add the procedure, so it has to be start game. So now our alien should move to a random spot. If it's not moving to a random spot, we need to make sure that we've attached the right things to him. Oh, that's what I did. Sorry, you have to take this piece here and just put it under the start game. I put it under I made its own line because it already has a procedure for starting game. So we want to make sure it's under the same one. Now, see our our little alien guy goes all over the place, and he goes randomly every time you click start. And our robot moves left and right. Perfect. I want to make sure that we're all following along right now. So if everyone could just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're following along. Or just an indication that we're getting it so far, because we're gonna perfect. All right, I see one thumbs up. That's great. Thank you. Wonderful. So what we're going to do next is we're going to be checking how to do the X coordinates. And we're also beginning to be doing how to advance some of the code we just learned here. So we're actually going to watch 2 videos from the tutorial from our Light Bites to get us started with that. Before we get to that section, we are going to announce the word one more time for our camera bundle. So we're going to collect all 4 words revealed in our Hackergal Day promotional video in each live event to win this bundle. And just to write it down one more time, it's encryption. So encryption is the word for today. So now we're going to look at 2 videos, one from the Light Bites and the other from the Light Bites. That's going to help us explore a little bit more on how to advance our project for our game. So you can follow along with the tutorial with the setup that I just did on your Lynx coding with the robot and creating your game.
Welcome to video tutorial number 1. In this video tutorial, you will program the movement of the NPCs or non-player characters. These elements are called NPCs because their movements are not directly controlled by the user. In this project, we are coding a mean aliens dodging game, and the NPCs will be the mean aliens and the rocket. These characters' clip art are already included in the dodging game template. However, if you wish to change the characters in your dodging game, feel free to upload your own clip art. In the NPC Movement Procedures tab, we can start by creating a procedure called move_alien. In this mean aliens dodging game, we want the alien to travel down the work area and appear at random locations when it reaches the top of the work area. Since we want the alien to start at the top of the work area, we can use the command set y to 100. This will set the y coordinate, the vertical position of the alien, at 200 pixels. The default dimensions are 225 pixels from the middle going upwards to the top of the work area, and equally 225 pixels in the negative or downward direction. Remember to call upon the specific turtle by typing its name. In this case, it is alien, followed by a comma and then the code. This ensures that we are telling the alien turtle these instructions and not another turtle or element in our game. Next, we want the alien to move downward, so we can use the command set heading 180 to change the heading of the turtle. You can set the shape of the alien to 0 to clearly see the head of the turtle facing downward like this. Then, to ensure the alien moves downward, we can type alien, comma, forever, square bracket, forward 15, weight 1.5, closing square bracket. This line of code means that the alien will move forward 15 pixels and weight 1.5 before repeating the instructions within the square brackets. The forever command ensures that the alien continues to move forward unless another line of code interrupts it, such as the stop all command when the stop button is pressed. On the next line, we will type alien, comma, forever, square bracket. If y core is greater than 200, square bracket, set x, random, 400, weight 5, closing square bracket, closing square bracket. Similar to before, the forever command ensures that the code within the square brackets runs continuously.
I'm going to pause it there just so that if you're following along, you can add this code into your Lynx coding procedures. So this is to continue on with the procedures that we already created for moving the robot, moving your alien. This is going to allow your alien to move randomly across the screen. So I'm just going to put this in pause for just one moment so that you're able to write down any of the code that you need. Perfect. All right, I'm going to keep going and I'll pause it again once we get to another spot.
Then the if statement is saying that if the y coordinate is greater than 200, which means if the alien is at the top of the work area, then do what it says within the next set of square brackets. The next set of square brackets is telling the alien to set its x coordinate, so its horizontal position to a random number from 0 to 400 and weight 5. Finally, we can complete the procedure by writing end. Now we can embed our move_alien procedure within our start game procedure by adding its name to a line of code within the start game procedure, so that when we start the game, the alien starts moving as well. Let's test out the button to check if the alien moves until it reaches the bottom and then appears at a random position when it gets to the top of the work area again. Once the move_alien procedure is working properly, you can customize the game further by adding another alien turtle and just copying and pasting the procedures, but renaming the new procedures to reflect the second alien. For example, I'm renaming my second alien to Alien 2, so my procedure should call upon Alien 2 instead of Alien. You can also increase or decrease the speed of the alien by changing the value of the.
So for this part, you can simply copy and paste the procedure that you created for the first alien and put it down here and just make sure that you're changing the name to Alien 2 so it corresponds with the new turtle that you've created. That way you don't have to rewrite all of your code twice, you're just simply copying and pasting it.
Forward and wait commands. Now that we have programmed the obstacles that the robot is dodging, let's add a new turtle to create a rocket NPC. To change the turtle shape within the clipart pane, we can see that the rocket is number 22. So in the command center, let's type set shape 22 and hit enter or return and watch the turtle turn into the rocket clipart. Right now it is too big, so what we can do is in the command center again, we can type set size 10 to make it smaller. Lastly, we can right-click on the turtle to open its dialog box and rename it to Rocket. The rocket will stay at the top of the work area while the robot dodges the aliens, and then the rocket will start falling, giving the robot a chance to catch it and win the game. To start programming the rocket's movement, let's add a new procedure called move_rocket. Just like in our move_alien procedures, we will call upon the rocket turtle on each line of code to ensure that only the rocket is receiving these specific instructions. First, we must set the x coordinate to a random position between 0 and 400 so that the player can chase after the rocket when it falls. We can type rocket, set x random 400. Next, we want the rocket to fall down similar to the aliens. We can add rocket, set heading 180. Then we set the y coordinate of the rocket to 200 by typing rocket, set y 200 to make sure the rocket drops from the top of the work area. Now we can add the code that allows the rocket to move. We use the forever command to ensure the rocket moves continuously, and we make it move forward 20 and wait 2 so that the falling animation can be seen properly. Next, we will write out rocket, forever, square bracket, if y core is greater than 200, square bracket, set x random 400, wait 10, closing square bracket, close.
And I'll just pause it again there so that you're able to see the new code for the rocket. Again, because the output screen is a grid, what we're doing here is we're setting the rocket to randomly move for 400, but we're making sure that we're also setting its position to move forward and to wait and to continue to move forever across the screen. So just as the aliens will fall and we're going to try and dodge the aliens, the rocket's what we want to get to win. As it says in the instructions, so we want the rocket to also fall, but it might be waiting a little longer to fall than the aliens, because we want to try and dodge the aliens first before getting our rocket and ending the game. So give just 2 minutes here just to look at the code for the rocket to make sure we've got that down. Okay, fantastic. We'll keep going.
Closing square bracket. This line of code is telling the rocket to forever repeat the code within the brackets unless it is interrupted by another event. The code within the brackets means if the y-coordinate, the vertical position of the rocket, is greater than 200, set its x-coordinate, its horizontal position, to a random number between the range of 0 to 400. Then it will wait 1 second before repeating the code again. In other words, when the rocket reaches the top of the work area, it must set its x-coordinate to a random position again. Last but not least, we will embed the move_rocket procedure within the start game procedure by going back to the buttons procedures tabs, and on a new line of code within the start game procedure, write wait 200 move_rocket. The duration of the wait command is measured in tenths of a second. Therefore, wait 200 is equal to 20 seconds. After the game starts, after 20 seconds, or depending on how long you set the wait command to be, the rocket will begin to fall and the player can catch the rocket to win the game. Now, with the rocket at the top of the work area in its starting position, in the command center we will type rocket, show pause to show the rocket's starting coordinates. Then in the start game procedure underneath the robot set pause command, we will type rocket,
and I'll pause there just so that we can make sure we have the set positions correctly, just like we did at the beginning when we had the robot in the middle of the page. And every time we click the start button, the robot will appear in those coordinates. Same thing for the rocket. The rocket's going to appear just at the top of the page every time we start the game. And remember, if you're looking for where on the screen are any of my turtles, where are their position, it's show pause. So show pause, don't write out show position or the computer won't be able to read the command, and it'll show you in red numbers what the position is.
Set pause, open square bracket, close square bracket, and copy and paste the coordinates from the command center. Adding this line of code will ensure that the rocket resets its position to the top of the work area at the beginning of a new game. Let's test out our game so far. Do the aliens fall down and reset their position at random x coordinates? Can you make the robot dodge the aliens using the buttons? Does the rocket fall down after the time indicated in the wait command so the player can catch it to win?
Perfect. So that's step 1 of our game. And the next step will be adding a couple more features that will add in the counter for your number of lives that you have, as well as adding in an announce button for when you win the game.
Welcome to video tutorial number 2. To make the game more exciting and challenging for the player, we can introduce a lives feature in our game. The lives feature allows the player character to have a set number of lives. Usually in games, the objective or goal is to avoid reaching 0 lives as the game would be over. So in this video tutorial, you will learn how to create a lives feature in Lynx by programming a text box and on-touch procedures that are triggered when the robot PC interacts with the alien and rocket NPCs. You will also learn how to incorporate announcements to tell the player when they win or lose the game. The first step is to rename the text1 text box by right-clicking on the text box and opening its dialog box. You can change the name of the text box to Lives and then click Apply. This text box will display the number of lives the player has, and every time you touch an alien, the player loses a life. When the number of lives reaches 0, the player loses the game. In the Lives text box, we can type a number which will be the number of lives the player starts with at the beginning of the game. For example, in this game, we can type the number 3, but feel free to change this number to whatever you want. Maybe you want your game to be easy, so you give the player more lives, or you want it to be difficult, so you may decide to give less lives. Now, in the Procedures pane, we will create a procedure that will subtract the number of lives from the text box. In the On-Touch Procedures tab, we can create a new procedure called Lose Lives. Then, on a new line of code, we can type Set Lives -1. This line of code is telling Lynx that within the text box called Lives, we want to subtract one of the lives. For example, we have 3 lives at the start, and we run this line of code. The text box will now show 2 because 3 - 1 = 2. Next, we want to program what will happen if the number of lives is equal to 0. So we can type if lives equals 0, square bracket, announce, square bracket, the mean aliens got you, closing square bracket, stop all, closing square bracket. This line of code means that if the lives equals 0, then announce the mean aliens got you, and then stop all other procedures running, which include the aliens movement. Now, let's go back to the Start Game procedure in the Button Procedures tab and add Set Lives 3 as the first line of code in the procedure. This will ensure that when a new game starts, the number of lives is reset to 3. Let's test it out. In the Command Center, we can type the procedure name Lose Lives. And if we keep pressing Enter or Return, eventually the number of lives will equal 0. When lives equals 0, the announcement should pop up. Now, since we know our lives procedure works, let's move on to creating on-touch procedures. On-touch procedures are events that are triggered when a turtle touches another turtle. For example, if the robot touches an alien, the player loses a life. The first step is to add a new line in the Start Game procedure. Underneath Set Lives 3, we can type make, quotation marks, PC, square bracket, robot, closing square bracket. The make command makes a variable and assigns the variable to what is within the square brackets. In this case, we are assigning the variable PC to the robot character. Every time we press start, it will ensure that Lynx will recognize this variable, which we will later call upon in the On-Touch Procedures. After that, we can select the On-Touch Procedures tab. Then we will right-click on one of the aliens to open up its dialog box. In the On-Touch section, let's select New and then Apply. In the Procedures pane, you should see a new procedure appear. We can delete the gray comments, and on a new line, we can type if member ? Touch turtle, PC, opening square bracket, lose lives, closing square bracket. What this line of code means is that if the alien touches an element, PC, which is the variable we assign to the robot character.
Going to pause there just so that you're able to write down this code. So this one is assigning the on-touch button to the turtles so that if the robot touches one of the aliens, it will do the command to connect to the lives text box that we've created so that it will lose a life each time. So every time the alien gets in contact with the robot, it will be -1 life. And then, of course, if it gets to 0, we've done it 3 times, we lose all our lives, an announcement box is going to pop up to say the mean aliens got you. So you'll be able to do the to alien _touch, touch turtle, if member, touch turtle NPC, it will lose lives. And because we've made a variable with the PC, it's going to remember that the robot is the PC. Okay, let's continue.
Character, it will run whatever is inside the square brackets. In this case, we want our lose lives procedure to run. So let's test it out. If I drag the alien to the robot, the number of lives decreases by 1. And if I continue to do this until lives is equal to 0, then the announcement will pop up. Amazing! Now we can attach the new procedure to the other alien. The great thing about procedures is that we can reuse them for different turtles. We have an on-touch procedure that establishes what happens when the aliens touch the robot character, but what happens when the rocket touches the robot? Let's program that now. To start, we can right-click on the rocket and select New within the on-touch section, then click Apply. Once again, in the Procedures pane, you should see a new procedure appear, and we can delete the gray comments. We can continue to type if member ? Touch turtle, PC, open square bracket, announce, open square bracket, yay, you reached your rocket ship and you won, closing square bracket, stop all, closing square bracket. This procedure is very similar to the alien on-touch procedure. What this procedure will do is if the rocket touches an element PC, which is the robot character, then it will do what is in the square brackets, which is to launch the announcement written and stop the NPC movement and all other procedures. Let's test it out. If we drag the rocket over to the robot, does the announcement appear? Congratulations! You have just coded a dodging game on Lynx. Now that the basic mechanisms of the dodging game have been programmed, it is up to you to become more creative with the game. Maybe you want to add more aliens for the player to dodge. Maybe you want to incorporate a point system into your game. Maybe you want to add a page by clicking the plus icon in the top left corner and adding another text box to congratulate the player when they win.
Now that you've added all the parts to your coding project, you can actually create it any way that you want. So you can add in anything that can make your game even more special, maybe backgrounds, different characters. You could have things disappear when they've been touched, maybe turn invisible so that they go away. You could have balloons coming down and they pop when they go off. You can really create anything that you want for your dodging game. Before we wrap up today's session, I just wanted to share a couple other things on the hub that you're able to do. Not only are you able to create coding a dodging game, but you're also able to use a couple different things here using AI. You can create a word generator, Sudoku games, different elements, and you can create a mood board using pixel art and learn how to create different sounds. All of the light bites are meant to be finished within 3 hours from start to finish. Of course, today's session was not 3 hours, so we went through it pretty speedy for the coding a dodging game. But if you want to go through with your own pace, you just need to sign up for the Hackergal Hub, and all of this information is available to you there. So a couple final reminders for today. We just want to thank our sponsors for making this event possible. We encourage you to share your favorite moments about Hackergal Day on our social media. You can tag us at the Hackergals. Again, we're going to add the Padlet to this post survey to win into the chat. Make sure that you're collecting all of those words from all of the sessions, the promo video, the live kickoff event, and the webinars that you've attended. Go into the survey in order to win a prize. And you can also submit your coding project that you've created to win. Maybe now you're going to create your own dodging game to submit to our judges for judging. And we just want to thank you so much for participating today. We hope to see you at the 2024 Hackathon that's running from May 27th to May 31st, 2024. I want to say a big thank you to all of you and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.